Alright, so this episode will be a devlog of our new game, and this will be the first game or one of the first games, if it's finished, that we are gonna release here in Super Light Games. So firstly, I do want to make a game that's really simple for me at the least, and something that I personally want to play. And for me, I am looking for kind of a skill-based game to make at my first try because I'm really good in physics and also kind of skill-based games. The tuning part is something that I really love to do. But of course, I do like to put an indie twist on it. So we're gonna talk about today Atomic Blob. That's our newest, the first game that we are gonna release here in Super Light Games if everything goes to plan. So this the initial art style of Atomic Blob, and I do like to talk to you guys what I imagined it to be, and also my thought process and why I was able to reach this point. So firstly, Atomic Blob is a platformer. As you move forward and levels, you can gobble up people and also whatever obstacle you have, and as you gobble up obstacles, you get bigger, but you can also use those slime or blobs to shoot other people, which will make you smaller. And also as you move in the level, you also go smaller. So yeah, it's a kind of a resource management kind of game. And there's also a lot of skill involved in this one because I'm gonna make it really fast. This will be a fast-paced game. So yeah, of course the vision is still not 100% clear, but this is the art style that we are going for. So with that in mind, this is what I came up with. So firstly, this is our slime. I'd like to make it into a minimalist kind of art style because that's where I'm good at. And I chose green because we're talking about an atomic blob here, so I do like to make the blob to be kind of a radioactive kind of feeling. So that's why I chose this like lime green kind of color. And I also do like, as you guys can see from the whole screen, it's the most visible object of the screen. So the UX is pretty good with using green. Also, I chose the background to be red because it's the complementary color of green, so the green will stand out even more. So actually, if you squint, guys, the first thing that you're gonna see is the blob, and the second would be the white enemies. So that's by design. That's how I designed it to be. So green, I do love the color. It feels kind of radioactive. And here actually I did try several colors. I did try orange and also red, but the slime is the best one for me. So that's on tip number one, guys. You need to try out different colors, prototype different colors before you reach a certain point until it feels right. So yeah, this is our slime. As you guys can see, it has some slime residue in this part. So I envision the slime or blob to, again, as you move to the level, you will leave kind of a slime and you go smaller. So the idea is you should not go smaller. You should gobble up things as you go. But look at this, guys. I imagine that it will paint up the whole obstacle. It will paint up the whole thing, and it will be super green kind of color, the whole thing. So that's what I kind of like. So the green is really powerful in this one. So that's our blob, and again, it has some spillovers. So as you also get hit by bullets, you get also smaller. So that's the resource here. There's not a lot of resource, actually. It's more of you, and I want it to be visual. There will be no HP bars here. So that's how I approach this. I want it to be as easily understandable as much as possible. So slime goes smaller. That kind of makes sense. If you are a dot, you will die basically. So, and you will get caught. Okay, so I thought about the premise here because I just thought about the blob when I was trying to come up with the idea. So I kind of made a story around the blob. So I plan to make it atomic because how did the blob happen? So basically for me, what I thought about is the blob is an atomic creature, so a nuclear creature. So it was spawned by the government to be a military object, and it got out. And you need to survive. The blob needs to survive. I don't know. The blob also feels more. You resonate with the blob because it's cute. I'm gonna make it cute and also bubbly, and yeah, it will be cute. So that's what I kind of thought of. So it's an experiment. So that's why the whole military is attacking the blob. And I thought of also you can't gobble up things that are bigger than you. So the Goliath in this area, you cannot gobble it. But the helicopter, you can gobble it. But this bigger helicopter, you cannot gobble it. So as soon as you hit an object that is bigger than you will die. So it's that punishing for me. But yeah, it's kind of the uncertainty. Actually, I plan to make it a little bit more confusing. That if you weigh the two things together, what's bigger, what's smaller. I plan to put that uncertainty feeling in mind when I'm gonna tune this thing. So yeah, green for the blob, and also I put green as well, and the O area in this one just to make it related. So you're saying that the atomic blob is this blob, and that's kind of cool. So yeah, moving on to the enemies. The enemies are military, and they're white. And let's zoom in actually. So, yeah, right, we can zoom in. So this is the slime. I should have zoomed in a while ago. And this is the army. So I envisioned this to be kind of city or burnt down city, or yeah, but it's silhouette, so you won't see it. But these are the military, and you need to gobble them up, and else they will fire at you, and yeah, you will basically die. So it's a game that you need to constantly move forward. So that's why it will be a very fast-paced game. So yeah, military here, and of course you have the helicopters which shoots stronger bullets. You have military as well. You have tanks, and you have the big Goliath here, and this one will be kind of constantly there, I imagine. And you also have this that brings down tanks and fires as well. So yeah, I kind of like the aesthetic that it's kind of a bullet hell kind of thing going on. So this will be a messy kind of game, and as soon as the bullets hits, splats will come at the back. So it will be a really messy game. It will be a physics heavy game, and I imagine it to have some interlace going on, kind of a TV feeling going on. So as you guys can see also, the obstacles silhouettes has some spikes, because I imagine it to be again kind of a post-apocalyptic kind of feel going on. So I kind of like the vibe actually, and yeah, I made it black because you need to make it feel interactable. So basically for this one, the red is non-interactable and the dark parts are interactable, or the light parts are interactable. So I kind of like that vibe, and I'm kind of aiming for, again, a kind of a post-apocalyptic thing. That's why the settings button is kind of a wriggly thing going on. So yeah, and I also imagine it to have the shadow thing going on, just to paint the scene and make it a little bit more cooler, I guess. So yeah, in terms of the art style, yeah, the red thing, it feels like it's a military blood dawn kind of thing going on. So that's why I went for a red. So I kind of like the contrast of the green and the red. I really love it, and also the white. It will be easily seen. So in terms of the UX, guys, so green and white is the top priority. Second priority would be this one, the black areas, and the third priority is the red. So that's where I'm going at. So yeah, in terms of the leveling of the game, I thought of it as well. So yeah, in terms of the art style, so actually guys, I made this maybe 2 hours, this art style. So that's pretty cool, I think, for 3 hours, for 2 hours. So this is my kind of synopsis of the game. So what is Atomic Blob? I also like Atomic Blob as a title as well, because it kind of reminds you of Atomic Blonde. So I kind of like titles like that, like titles that reminds you of something else. So it can be more relatable, more human. So what's AB? You're a blob created from everything nice turned wrong. So yeah, you are Powerpuff Girls from Professor Rex. You escaped. Wow, the spelling. X is actually pretty cool. I'm gonna keep it. Lucky, but of course, you are a billion-dollar experiment. The military needs you. They stop you, but don't fret. You fight the military. You beat them at their own game. It's supposed to be on. Use your powers. You're gonna have powers. We're gonna prototype it and gonna feel out. So yeah, this is actually a high level kind of thing going on. It's not super detailed. So I'm actually for that, I always try to go to the game itself and then feel it out. I don't want to design it from the get-go. I want to feel things. That's very important for me. I want to feel things. If I don't feel anything, it might not be good. Core mechanic is eat up the military and go bigger. It's kind of Katamari-esque. If you have played that game. Fire blob and go smaller. And also get damage, go smaller. As you go smaller, you go faster. Oh, I forgot this important bit. So there's a kind of a risk thing going on. So you can go smaller, but you will have less HP. So yeah, that's that. And also, if you eat up things, you will also score. So that's the thing here. There's a scoring system. And endless as well. This will be an endless game. I'd like to create endless. That's kind of a thing. And especially for a first game, I'd like to create an endless game. But for the road, it's impossible. So I'm gonna make the obstacles impossible. So it will take some skill. Utmost blobby control to get through. You cannot gobble up enemies bigger than you. So be careful. You can die, blob. So again, that's the frustration part. And also that's the uncertainty part that I want to put in the game. So variations on possible impossible game or geometry dash. 80% of the game is that. So I'm kind of thinking about that. Also improve core mechanic, and there's still too much uncertainty for me in the game. So I may try other things to maybe art style, or I kind of thinking of making the light shadow thing just circular around here. So I'm kind of thinking about that just to improve the uncertainty, so you don't know what's next, because here you can see everything. So that might improve the confusion. And also I do like to I will put a green light in here, so it will bounce off the other obstacles. So it might improve as well the confusion in the game. But yeah, that's something for me to consider, and also make the art style a bit more confusing. So that's why I do want to put a lot of white enemies here. So there might be enemies at the top. Everything it will have everything white, so it will be a really messy bullet hell kind of thing going on. And you're gonna fire. So it's actually prototype. So this is actually what we call a fake, or yeah, as people call it, a mock-up. So I wanted to name this one Blob Bullets. So the idea is you need to imagine the game from the mock-up itself. So from here, if it doesn't feel good, you should not continue, basically. So for me, it kind of feels good. I kind of like to continue with this. It has some feels to it. So maybe like this one, maybe we can let's look for a bigger brush. So let's try this one, and then maybe shoot stuff, something like this. No, I don't like that. Maybe something like this. There you go. Maybe a small stuff. Yeah, maybe this one. So it will be messy. There you go. And then it's a circle thing going on, and it will be hit stuff. There you go. So it will be a bit more messy, or maybe even have some physics going on. That can be also something that we can consider. Yeah, this kind of feels cool. And again, as I mentioned, there will be splats going around here as you get hit. So there might be some stuff here that will fly. So yeah, it's not really a good mock-up, but I just messed it up. But yeah, I need to get my brush, but that's the idea. Actually, right now when I thought about it, the firing might not be that fun, I guess, because yeah, it'll be cool if you can, go inside, go to them directly because you're a blob. So yeah, the firing thing might not work for me from the mock-up, but that is something for me to try when I do the mock-up. And again, so this area is actually the nuclear power plant or the atomic power plant that atomic blob came from. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is atomic blob, our initial take, and devlog number 1. That's my current thought process. Yeah, if you have some suggestions on what I should do, some variations, and also some games that I should check out that's kind of related to the atomic blob or AB or abs, let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoy the content, if you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this devlogs and tutorials here in the channel. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.